Start from the
Krishna,
hey,
Hare Hare.
start from the beginning.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhagavati Vedanta Swami Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Abhishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Gauravani Prajane Vishesha Sunyavadi Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Yeah.
Namaste Narasimhaya. भगवान की जय। डॉक्टर शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि।
ओम कृपाल परम सपरिवृत्ताचार्य सरस्वती श्रीमदेशी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन पौंडराचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परम सपरिवृत्ताचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगा मई की जय। यमुना मई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembly devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kalpatarupyascha Kripa. Vishnu Bharaya Krishna Sarvata. So we'll have one round of chanting with Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Radha. Suvasadi Gaur Bhakti. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome back to our weekly program. Thanks for coming, taking this time. I know there is another home program going on in Delaware. Some people might have gone there. But anyways, thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Sudeep Prabhu. So as you see, today we have our special guest. Do you remember him?
Yes.
Do you know when he came to our center before? 4 months? Not 4 months. In the month of January. Okay, so he came in the month of January. Now it is almost, the year is coming to end. So it's 10 months. So we would like to welcome him by chanting 3 times loudly, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. His Grace Simeshvara Prabhu ki jai, please. So it was very short notice actually. Just 2 days back I approached him and he graciously, accepted my invitation. So thank you very much, Prabhu. In spite of his busy schedule, actually, he plays various roles in ISKCON Central Jersey, New Jersey. You know ICNJ, right? ISKCON Central Jersey. So yeah, he wears various hats there. So he is very, very responsible. In spite of his busy schedule, when I asked him, he accepted. Thank you. Let me take this opportunity to brief out about His Grace Simeshvara Prabhu. He is a second initiated disciple of His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, who is humbly serving devotees in the capacity of Sankirtan manager. Just see what roles he plays. Sankirtan manager, Bhakti Vriksha lead, temple secretary, a board member, and festival coordinator of ISKCON Central Jersey. He also conducts multiple Bhakti Vrikshas in South Brunswick and Hillsborough area, hosting Bhagavad Gita classes every evening over Zoom, conducting Bhagavatam classes on every Sunday morning. Just can you imagine? A very tight schedule. He started ISKCON in 1997 at Mumbai and then moved 2 years in 1998, associated with Dallas Kalachandji Temple in 1998 to 2001. Then he moved to New Jersey and then started associating with ISKCON of Central New Jersey. He is currently living
in South Brunswick, New Jersey with his family and trying to serve the devotees. Let's again welcome him by chanting Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you very much, Prabhu. So we'll hear from him Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll continue our series. Last week we ended chapter 2. We completed chapter 2. Gaurasharan Prabhu gave a wonderful session. So we are going to start with chapter 3, first canto, chapter 3, text number 1. So please open up your phones, and so we are going to follow the same protocol. And Saturday school, all the kids can get into Saturday school. So at the end we'll have recitation from sloka recitation from by kids, and then we'll have prasada. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So you're the Karta?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you, Mukta Sangha Prabhu, giving me this opportunity again. Is beginning of this year. I was here. So thank you all for joining this very auspicious Sangha over here in Bensalem. Today is also especially a very auspicious day. Today is Vijaya Dashami, Ramachandra Vijayotsav, or Vijaya Dashami, or Dasara, in so many ways celebrate on this very auspicious days. Last 9 days was Navaratri. I think many of you must be part of Navaratri as well. So we can, in all respect, so we all somehow or other try to put ourselves and free from our this all contaminated consciousness to our real original consciousness, to come to that, so that we understand and realize what's our purpose, identity, our purpose on this world. So thank you again for this opportunity, Mukta Sangha Prabhu. Thank you for engaging me in this service. Hare Krishna. So we'll sing together. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Gaura Premanandi, Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya, Ashtottara Sadasada Srimad Bhagavatham Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya, Ashtottara Sadasada Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Ananda Gaudi Vaishnava Vrinda ki Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo Hare Krishna. Please fold your hands. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tado Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtigim.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naitikim.
So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 3rd chapter, the first two verses. Sudauvaja
Sutavaja
Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam
Jagate Paurusham Rupam
Bhagavan Magat Adibihi
Bhagavan Mahat Adibihi
Shambhudam Sodashakalam
Sambudam Shodashakalam
Adauloka Sushikshaya
Loka Sushikshaya
Sudauvaja
Sutavaja
Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam
Jagrishe Paurusham Rupam
Bhagavan Mahadadibihi
Bhagavan Mahadadibihi
Sambhudam Sodashakalam
Sambudam Shodachakalam
Adauloka Sushikshaya
Adauloka Sushikshaya
Sudauvacha
Sutavaja
Jagrihe Paurusham Lupam
Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam
Bhagavan Mahadadibihi
Bhagavan Mahadadibihi
Sambhudam Sodashakalam Kalam
Sambhutam Shodachakalam
Adauloka Sushikshaya.
Adauloka Sushikshaya
Anybody would like to recite?
Sutavacha
Sudauvacha
Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam
Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam
Bhagavan Mahadadibihi
Bhagavan Mahadadibihi
Sambhutam Shodachakalam
Sambhudam Shodashakalam
Adauloka Sushikshaya
Adauloka Sushikshaya. Anybody else? Sudauvacha Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahadadibihi Sambhudam Shodashakalam Adauloka Susrikshaya. Okay, so we'll go word by word meaning. Suda Uvacha.
Sutavacha
Suda said.
Suta said
Jagrihe.
Jagrihe
Accepted.
accepted
Paurusham.
Paurusham
Plenary portion as the Purusha incarnation.
plenary portion as the Purusha incarnation
Rupam.
Rupam
Form.
form
Bhagavan.
Bhagavan
The personality of Godhead.
personality of God
Mahat Adibihi.
Mahat Adibihi.
with the ingredients of the material world.
With the ingredients of the material world.
Sambhodam.
Sambhudam.
Thus there was the creation of
That there was the creation of
Sodashakalam,
Shodasa Kalam.
16 primary principles.
16 primary principles.
Adav,
Adav.
in the beginning.
In the beginning.
Loka,
Loka.
the universe.
The universe.
Sushikshaya,
Sushikshaya.
on the intention of creating.
On the intention of creating.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation, please repeat after me. Sudha said,
Sutta said,
in the beginning of the creation,
in the beginning of the creation,
the Lord first expanded Himself
the Lord first expanded Himself
in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation
in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation
and manifested all the ingredients for
and manifested all the ingredients for
the material
the
creation.
material creation.
And thus,
And thus,
at first there was
first there was
the creation of the 16 principles of material action.
the creation of the 16 principles of material action.
This was for the purpose of
This was for the purpose of
creating the material universe.
creating the material universes.
Purport. The Bhagavad Gita states that the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, maintains these material universes by extending his plenary expansions. So, this Purusha form is the confirmation of the same principle, the original personality of Godhead, Vasudeva or Lord Krishna, who is famous as the son of King Vasudeva or King Nanda, is full with all opulences, all potencies, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. Part of his opulences are manifested as impersonal Brahman, and part of his opulences are manifested as Paramatma. This Purusha features of the same personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the original Paramatma manifestation of the Lord. There are three Purusha features in the material creation, and this form, who is known as the Karanodakshaya Vishnu, is the first of the three. The others are known as the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, which we shall know one after another. The innumerable universes are generated from the skin holes of this Karanodakshaya Vishnu, and in each one of the universes, the Lord enters as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that the material world is created at certain intervals and then again destroyed. This creation and destruction is done by the Supreme Will because of the conditioned souls or Nitya Bhata living beings. The Nitya Bhata or eternally conditioned souls have the sense of individuality or ahangara, which dictates them sense enjoyment, which they are unable to have constitutionally. The Lord is the only enjoyer. All others are enjoyed. The living beings are predominated enjoyers. But the eternally conditioned souls, forgetful of this constitutional position, have strong aspirations to enjoy. The chances to enjoy matter is given to the conditioned souls in the material world. And side by side, they are given the chance to understand their real constitutional position. Those fortunate living entities who catch the truth and surrender under the lotus feet of Vasudeva after many, many births in the material world join the eternally liberated souls and thus are allowed to enter into the kingdom of Godhead. After this, such fortunate living entities need not come again within the occasional material creation. But those who cannot catch the constitutional truth are again merged into the Mahat Tattva at the time of annihilation of the material creation. When the creation is again set up, this Mahat Tattva is again let loose. This Mahat Tattva contains all the ingredients of the material manifestations, including the conditioned souls. Primarily, this Mahat Tattva is divided into 16 parts, namely the 5 gross material elements and the 11 working instruments or senses. Is like the cloud in the clear sky. In the spiritual sky, the effulgence of Brahman, is spread all around, and the whole system is dazzling in spiritual light. The Mahat Tattva is assembled in some corner of the vast
there's
unlimited
parts of this.
spiritual
They're
sky.
recording this over there.
And the part
Okay,
which is
now
thus covered by the
this is
Mahatattva is
happening
called
right
the
live
material
in
sky.
front of. This is where I go.
This
See,
part of
this
spiritual sky called the Mahatattva is only an
it's
insignificant
from
portion of the
chapter
whole
Bhagavad
spiritual
Gita or
sky.
something like
Within
that.
this
And so he's
Mahatattva, there are innumerable universes. All these universes are collectively produced by the Karanodakshaya Vishnu, called also the Mahavishnu, who simply throws his glance to impregnate the material sky. Om Jnanamirandasya Om Jnanamirandasya Jnananjanasalagaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udapadagamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanidam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaidam Savadudam Parijana Sagitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalidam Shri Vishakhanidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Padidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtabdale Srimade Lokanath Swandramane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtabdale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swandramane Namaste Saraswati Guruvani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Nista Harihi Om Tat Sat Hare Krishna. So we are on the first canto, which is titled as Creation. And this chapter is Krishna is the source of all incarnations. It's very important to understand our origin. I think everybody is curious about it. So many times we are so much confused, so much misunderstanding, so much illusion, so much misguided in this world. Some people say this entire world, all this universe just come out from a big bang, big explosion. Some says that no, it's not that a big explosion. It is all come together in some point of time. So in either case, there is an origin of all this creation. So this is where the Srimad Bhagavatam gives this very, very wonderful understanding, a total understanding. So generally Srimad Bhagavatam is known as the spiritual science. It's completely we can understand so in the material world people are so much curious about the science. Because whenever they say there is a creation or all the living entities is manifested from the Lord. So when we say there is Lord, there is God, they say show me the God. They don't believe in God. So because of they wanted to see everything has to be first of all proven that God is there. The God means for them that Lord should come in front of us every day and He should do all the tasks whatever we say. He is like a slave for us. So then I will believe that okay, there is God. Otherwise I don't believe in God. So this idea of the material or the scientist that brought up that okay, everything has to have proof, then otherwise I don't believe. So because this goes beyond that. The material science is based upon, there is a philosophy or hypothesis, right? Then there is an experiment, then they come up to a conclusion or a result, right? So then only they can even prove that, okay, this is something true, this something is right. So similarly, unless and until we experience, unless and until we get into it, we will not understand. Yes, we have the philosophy, we have the understanding through the scriptures, Vedas, and the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. We have all these informations. Unless and until we try to get into it, we will not understand. That's why we need to practice, we need to sadhana, we need some basic qualification in order to understand this spiritual science. So even we need some qualification even to go through the, the science or research, right? You cannot just go and jump into it, okay, let me do, I'm going to do this research. No, it won't. So we all have to have some level of qualification in order to understand this. So what is that first qualification to understand this? Anybody knows? The first qualification that we need to understand or come into this Krishna consciousness or understand more Krishna or the spiritual science, Shraddha, Adho Shraddha, faith. So we have the faith, we have to have the faith. So there are so many ways that we can believe. So there is always a difference. We have belief, right? We believe in something. We believe in the Lord. So there is a belief. Belief and the faith is a little different. Belief, okay, I believe in this, I believe this. But faith goes a little more deeper. Okay, that I have the belief, but now when I put myself, endeavor for more to understand that or stick with that belief, so let me try, let me do something, then what happens? It becomes faith. So unless and until we have the faith, we cannot understand this, right? Suppose we cannot fly on an airplane if we don't have a faith, right? That the airplane will take us from one, where it originates, right, to the destination. So unless we have the faith, we will not be able to travel. So similarly, when you have the faith in the scriptures, faith in the Lord, faith in the Acharya's words, so when we have that strong faith, then it will take us from our current situations, current place to the next destination. So it's very important like that. So the creation. So Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but the spiritual science. So all we need to have is that immanent faith into this, the scriptures and the words which revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the Vedanta Sutra, the essence of Vedanta Sutra. This is Vedic knowledge. This is Amala Purana. So in this first canto is called creation. And in this chapter is also titled as the Krishna is the all source of incarnation. And this verse is revealing that, the first of all, the Sudha Goswami. Who is Sudha Goswami? Who is Sudha Goswami? Yes, disciple of Sukadeva Goswami, who was there with the Sukadeva Goswami when spoken Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj in the assembly, right? And then Sudha Goswami came back. Then everybody requested. They heard that Sudha Goswami was also part of the Srimad Bhagavatam assembly. So there is nothing for those such realized souls, nothing is more important than hearing Srimad Bhagavatam about the Supreme Lord, because they understand the importance of, they understand so much that there is only this way, only from the realized souls. That's why we should always hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the realized souls. So there is Gyan and there is Vigyan. There is knowledge and there is realized knowledge. Gyan is knowledge. Everybody has knowledge. So even animal has knowledge, right? Animal know how to create their nest, right? And like sparrows, so beautifully they construct their nets. Webs, right? These spider webs. Look at that, how beautifully it creates it. and it's at the end it's all consumed itself. And so how beautifully it creates it. And it's mentioned that this a spider can actually create a web almost like 25 meter. It can jump. It goes to one to another end. And then it creates such a web, and this is the way that they also know how to live. This animal also has the knowledge, no difference. Human also has. So there is no difference between animal and the human in one sense. But the human makes the difference because of they have realized knowledge. So their intelligence is high, so that they can have the realized knowledge. So that's called Vishesha Gyan. Gyan and Vigyan. Vishesha Gyan or Vigyan. So one has to have this, the Vigyan, the Vishesha Gyan. So when we have this one, then only we can understand and more. Where do we get all this realized knowledge? When we have that strong faith in the words of the Srimad Bhagavatham Acharya Srila Prabhupada. They've already seen the truth, right? In the Bhagavad Gita it's mentioned that Tadvidi Pranipadena Pariprashnena Sevya Upadeshandiya Jnanam Jnaninas Tattvadarshinaha. They have seen the truth. So we have to hear this from the realized souls. That's what it is. The Sutta Goswami heard this from whom? Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami heard from whom? Vyasadeva. Right? Sukadeva Goswami heard this from Vyasadeva. Then the Sutta Goswami. It's better. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. Keep speaking. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, that's clear. So, this, as soon as they saw Sudha Goswami, they also wanted to hear. Why? Because of they are realized souls. So it's always better, that's why Srimad Bhagavatam scriptures should listen from the realized souls or the pure devotees of the Lord. This will give so much of potency to understand and to clear that the doubts and the confusion. So in this verse, this is the first verse of third chapter, which is Krishna is all source of incarnation. So here in the beginning itself, and Sudha Goswami is explaining to the thousands of sages assembled. They are so eager to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Srunodam Shravanam Krishnam Punya Shravana Kirtanam Kadendischa Mam Nityam. Right? So Srunodam Shravanam, they are very much eager to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not talking about any mundane things. It's all spiritual, in the spiritual topic, the science of spirituality. So they take us to that level of that we can completely understand that where we all come from. So that's what is the creation. And in every scriptures, that creation is so important. Brahma Samhita also same, Bhagavatam, the Brahma Samhita all explains the same thing about the creation. So here, Sudha Goswami is explaining about the Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu or Karanodakshaya Vishnu, how he is actually creating this material world, how this material world is manifesting. So it's mentioned that in the beginning of the creation, Lord first expanded himself in the universal form, or Purusha incarnation manifested in all the ingredients for material creation. Sometimes you ask this question, right? Which one comes first, egg or chicken, right? Some of you ask this question, or you may have heard about this question. What came first, egg or chicken? Right? What is your answer? What is your answer? Chicken. No, very difficult to answer. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is giving this wonderful answers. So it's also similar, like a chicken and egg. This universe is known as Brahma Anda. Anda means also known as egg. Right? Anda means egg. This is also Brahmanda. So now the question is clear, answer is here. So from the Mahavishnu, all the ingredients for the universe is manifesting from the Mahavishnu. So it's not that, chicken, the egg come first, then chicken, manifest. No. So from the Mahavishnu, so I'll tell you how this Mahavishnu, this is very beautiful in the Bhagavatam and the Brahma Samhita, it's so wonderfully explained this one. So that's why the chapter is Krishna is the all source of incarnation. All source of incarnation. So there is various places, even in this chapter we can see that Ede Chamsha Kalapam Cha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Loke Mrugayanti Yuge Yuge. Ede Chamsha Kalapam, all the other incarnations are just Amsha Kala. Ede Chamsha Amsha Kala portion. Ede Chamsha Kalapamsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He is the original Bhagavan. Brahma also mentioned in the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Nadiradri Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. He is the cause of all the causes. After understanding in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna also telling and revealing to Krishna. Arjuna is telling that you are the Param Brahm. Param Dham, you are the original abode. Param Brahm, Param Dham, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashwadam, Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajambib. You are the Param Brahm. You are the Param Dham. Pavitram, you are so, divine, sacred. Paramam means Paramam means the supreme. Paramam means supreme. Paramam, Bhavan. Purusham, you are the original Purusha. So we are talking about Purusha, I will come to that point. Purusha, you are the original Purusha. Purusham, Shashwadam, you are eternal, Divyam, divine. Adi Deva, you are the original personality. Ajam, unborn. Vibhum, you are pervaded everywhere. Agustyam Rishaya Sarva. Not only that, Agustyam Rishaya Sarva, all the sages. All the self-realized souls. Agustyam Rishaya Sarvam Devarshi Narada. Devarshi Narada Stada Asida Devala Vyasa. These are the great personalities. And Narada Dev is also incarnation of the Lord. And we will see that. Vyasa is also incarnation of the Lord. Narada, Asida, Vyasa, Devala. And everybody, and Swayam Chaiva, even Krishna himself mentioned this to Arjuna that Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matha Sarva Pravartade. From me comes everything. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matha Sarvam Pravartade Idi Matva Bhajande Mam Bodhabhava Samanyadaha. Mayadhyakshena Prakrite Suyade Sajarajaram. Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Mayadhyakshena Prakrite Suyade Sajarajaram Hedunanena Kaunteya. I am the cause of everything. Jagat Vibhari Vartade. And this is mentioned in the Brahma Samhita. Ramadi Murti Shakala Niyamena Dishtam Nanavataram Agarod Bhuvaneshu Kindu Krishna Swayam Sambhavat Parama Brahma saying. So everybody says this in the all Vedas. Vedescha Sarvam Ahameva Vedyu. Vedas are nothing but the breath or which comes out from the flute of Krishna, come out from the breath of Krishna, that's Veda, the knowledge. And that goes to the Brahma. And that Brahma is understood and realized. And seeing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna is the source of all incarnations. So we'll see how that is. So we know that the original personality of Godhead, Krishna, he ever existing. He is full of potency, full of knowledge, full of potency. He is Satchitananda, Sat, eternal, full of knowledge, full of potency. Satchitananda. No matter what, he ever existing. And it can easily understand. Because of he exists, that we exist. Otherwise, we can easily connect that. What is the source of our life? Or our soul, or our potency? Right? There is no other way. That is all come from, Srila Prabhupada says, life comes from life. There is no other source. Life doesn't come from this matter. So science says that lies come from the matter. That initial, the theory of the origin of living entity, they say that, some soup, primordial soup, which created somewhere in the corner of this ocean, primordial soup. Then it is created some bubbles and that is all those things. So the original, the creation, is not that just from the chemical or from the matter. Life comes from the life that we get. Krishna has eyes, that's why we have eyes. Krishna has nose, that's why we have nose. Krishna has ears, that's why we have ears. Krishna could hear, that's why we could hear. Otherwise, there is no sense of it, there is no meaning for any of these things. Because of all this, this is the potency, this is the functions of Krishna. Because of that, he has that we have all this. Otherwise, will not. The moment the soul passes from this body, does our eyes works? Does our ears works? When our mouth works, stomach, just nothing works. But that existence of the soul, that spirit soul, the existence of that spirit soul makes everything possible in the body. To remember, to sleep, to digest, to walk, to so many things. So this is the function of the soul, not actually the body. So initially, when Lord, we will see that further in the Bhagavatham, the Lord created first. It is mentioned that, when Lord wanted to see things, the eyes manifested. Eyes manifested. When Lord wanted to walk, the legs manifested. When Lord wanted to carry something, the hands manifested. So this is the way that all the organs manifested. We'll see in the third canto of it, beginning section. So all this manifested. Then that's where we can see that there is three principles of it. It's known as Adhyatmik, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik. See, generally Adhyatmik, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik is related with the mysteries of the life. But this is not the mystery of the part of it. Adhyatmik, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik. These three are very interrelated, connected. When we say, just for an example, we have eyes, right? But if there is no light, this eyes won't function, or we don't see it anything. But eyes are there, the lights are there, the soul is not there. It won't function either, right? So these three must be there. So Adhyatmik, that means our soul, our spirit soul. Adi Bhautik, that the flesh, that the organ, that which we have. Then Adi Devik, that means there is a predominant deity for it in order to see things, right? So we say that for the eyes, the predominant deity to see is the sun god, right? So similarly, there are each and every deity is out there. So which function, which controls everything. So that's very clear that, right? So these three aspects of Adhyatmik, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik. So everything is there, the soul is not there, it doesn't work. So soul is there, but the organ is not there, it's not functioning. Then there is no use of the sun or that the function of the seeing. Right? Then Adi Devik. And the predominant deity is not there, then sun is not there, what is the use of? Or light is not there. So these are all we are not independent. We are dependent on all this. So this is why, because of the creation which manifests from the Lord. That's why Lord created all these predominant deities or Devadevatas. So because in order to walk into this material world. And where do they get this potency? They do get the potency from that, the Supreme Lord. That's why it's known as Parasya Shaktir Vivideva Sruyate. That supreme potency is manifested in various ways. Right? So in one sense, there is only two things in this world. Only two things. Krishna and Krishnas. Everything is related to Krishna. Krishna's potency, Krishna's energy, Krishna's various form. So there is an energy manifestation. There is Krishna's, the physical manifestations, that is in the form of that we see the Mahat Tattva or the ingredients. Okay, so we'll come to that. So Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is ever existing. He is spiritual, completely spiritual. He is full of potency. And he has spiritual form. We also have spiritual form. We have three bodies. Even the human, we have three bodies. One we can say gross body, right? Our bhaudika sharir, or stula sharir. Sharir is called sharir. In the English, it's body. Sharir. Sharir means the plane that which we interact. Sharir. So we have the Sushma, Stula Sharira, then we have Sushma Sharira. What is Sushma Sharir? Mind, settled body. And what are those? Mind, intelligence and ego. Right? This is more settled than the gross. So when a person dies, the gross leaves here and that goes into this, what are the five elements, Panchabhuta, that's our body is constructed of. Earth, water, fire, air, either that goes back, but settled body, the mind, intelligence and ego, that remains. And that goes along with the soul. Okay, the mind. That's why it's very important what we feed into the mind at the time of death, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Yam yam vavismaran bhavam tejjande kalevaram tam tam evadi kaudeya yadinatre asamsheha. Yam yam vavismaran bhavam. Whatever the consciousness, whatever the mind you have, whatever the consciousness you have at the time of death, oh Arjuna, that's what is you are going to become. No doubt into that. Yadinatri asamsheha, there is no doubt. Whatever the consciousness that you have, that's what is you are going to become. But at the time of death, the next verse Krishna says, that antakaleja mameva smaran mukta kalevaram saprayadis tamad bhavam saprayadis tamad bhavam sada tadbhavam agataha. Andakaleja mameva smaran mukta kalevaram. At the time of death, if you are conscious of me, you will come to me. There is sattada sadbhava magadaha, no doubt into that. And then Krishna says that Abareya midastu anyam prakritim midime param. Abareya midastu, beyond this material nature, there is a superior nature. So we have to understand this. This is a transcendental science and the truth. Beyond this material nature, there is a superior nature that's called Paraprakriti and Aparaprakriti. Paraprakriti is the superior nature and Aparaprakriti is the inferior nature. That's this material nature that we see. So there is two nature even. Prakriti, there is even two nature, two Prakriti. So that's where also all comes out. So in the spiritual, in the Paraprakriti, the superior nature, that's the spiritual. So like that, we have Sushma Sharir, Stula Sharir. We also have a spiritual nature. We have a spiritual body. That's what it is. That's spirit soul. And spirit soul also has a body. It's like what we can say that, just the seed of a banyan tree. It's very tiny. Right? If you look at the seed of a banyan tree, it's very, very tiny. So, but when the tree comes out from that, the seed of that tree is exactly a replica of what? That entire tree, isn't it? So, where is that prototype? So, within that, this is science called maybe a gene or RNA or DNA, right? The structure is everything is there, but what is exactly it? It's the potency, it's nothing but the energy, the potency of the Lord, which in a different fashion, different structure, different way, that is in the seed. Like that, there are innumerable seeds like that. And it comes exactly like that, the same tree. And that same tree again creates another seed. Isn't it? The same tree creates another seed, very tiny seed. And the entire banyan tree is in that seed. So there was a story like this. There was a Brahmana and a cobbler. So how many of you know this story? The cobbler and the Brahmana. Okay, few. So one time Narada Dev came. Narada came to the world and went to Brahmana. He was always worship, always do this, puja, everything. So he went with the Brahmana and said, Brahmana, I'm going to the Vaikuntha. I'm going to meet Vishnu. Do you have anything to say to Vishnu? So Brahmana said, okay, oh, you are going to the Vaikuntha. Okay, fine, wonderful, very nice. So can you ask Lord that when I am going to deliver from this world and liberate from this world, I am going to Vaikuntha. So, okay, Narada said, okay, I will go and I will ask, no problem. So then the Narada came to a cobbler. Cobbler is also a very devotee of the Lord. He does his simple work and he was very peaceful, very nice. And then Narada came to cobbler as well and told to cobbler, I'm going to Vaikuntha. So do you have anything to say to Lord Vishnu? The cobbler said, also, nothing. That just mention that, when will I relieve from this all suffering? When I will be able to see, my Lord. So Narada went to Vaikuntha, met with the Lord Vishnu, and Narada mentioned that I had met with two devotees and they asked this concern, that, when they are going to come to Vaikuntha. So then Lord said, okay, what should I tell to Brahmana that you will not come to this, entire yuga, that you will, some other yuga you will come. But tell the cobbler that you will come, then this lifetime itself, you will come to me, no matter what. So then, why it is that? Narada asked Lord, why is that? Lord said, you may not understand now, but tell this one. If they ask what Lord was doing in Vaikuntha, tell them that I was actually passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. Okay, I was passing through an eye of a needle. You just tell them that, you will understand that why I said that. So then Narada came back to the earth and then went to Brahmana. And Brahmana was so curious because of Lord Narada was coming, like we are also curious, right? We send with somebody and come back and so serious we are going to meet. So then Brahmana asked Narada, what did the Lord said? What did Lord said? So then Brahmana was mentioning that, okay, what was Lord doing there? First of all, what was Lord doing there? So this was the same question Lord also mentioned that they will ask, what was Lord doing there? So then Narada said that the Lord was passing an elephant through an eye of a needle. The Brahmana said, how is that possible? That's not possible at all. How is it possible? It's not, how can an elephant go through an eye of a needle? It's not possible. No, you didn't go anywhere. You didn't go to Vaikuntha. You just went here and there. You just came and bluffing with me, So Narada just went away. So Narada went to cobbler. So cobbler also asked, what was Lord was doing? So Narada said, yes, Lord was passing an elephant through an eye of a needle. The cobbler was so, yes, my Lord can do anything. My Lord can do anything, that He is the Supreme. He has such a faith and conviction. Look at that. This entire huge, gigantic banyan tree is completely comprised in one small, tiny seed into it. If Lord can do that, why can't Lord pass this huge, gigantic elephant through an eye of a needle? So this is what is the Lord is that, He can do anything, everything, because of He is nothing not related with this material matter. So the reason for that, so when a seed of a banyan tree or a tree, we can create that entire replica, exact replica of it, whether it is huge. So everything is also a replica, that we are also a replica of that Supreme Lord. And that's why even it says that the material world is the perverted reflection of the spiritual world. So whatever we could see here, we can also see there. This is called the chit potency or chit potency of the Lord, and that's when it comes to the material prakriti or material nature, this is a shadow of that chit potency or the internal potency of the Lord, shadow of it. That shadow, that's what is Navaratri, we celebrate, that shadow potency is nothing but the Mother Durga. Right? Mother Durga is that shadow potency, that's a material nature, the deity of the material nature is Mother Durga, the shadow potency. So, we all have the spiritual body, spiritual form, no matter what. So, when the spiritual form, we get this material body because of our consciousness. Consciousness is very, elevated to the highest level, and then because of the what consciousness we have, that's what is we are getting this body. Our consciousness is very low. So we are consciousness like an animal. We get an animal body. Because that's what is going to create. The consciousness is so pure and spiritual, we also come to that spiritual level or spiritual body that we get. This is just a matter of how do we develop our consciousness from the lowest to the highest. So we also have a spiritual form. So there is a spiritual world, spiritual realm. So in that spiritual realm is the Supreme Lord, the Sri Krishna, is eternally existent in Gologadamni Nijadamni Talejatasya. Gologadam. It is Gologadam is mentioned that, so first of all understand this one, the Lord's entire creation. It is called Tribhada Vibhuti and Ekabada Vibhuti. Tribhada Vibhuti means all Lord's creation that we cannot even imagine, first of all. Our human sense cannot perceive the vastness of the creations, even the material world. We know that the light can pass from one universe to another universe. It takes multiple light years. You know that what is the light years means? That the light passes in 1 year. The light passes from the sun god to earth, it takes like 8 seconds. That's what is the time which takes to reach to the earth. And it's so far. So the light years, that means the light passes in throughout the 1 year. Can you imagine that distance, how long it passes? And this takes many, many thousands of light years. The light passes from one universe to the other end of the other universe. There are millions of universes like that. Cannot even imagine. And this is the material world. And this is just the 1/4. This is called Ekapada. 1/4 of the Lord's entire creation. Okay? Lord's entire creation. Then 3/4 is actually the spiritual realm. That's the Tribhada Vibhuti. So spiritual realm is out there. This is because we cannot perceive, we cannot understand and realize, so that we say there is nothing beyond us. That's this ahangar, nothing beyond us. But this is the theory of a frog in a well. You know the story of frog in a well? How many of you know the frog in a well story? Everybody knows, right? The frog comes and just within the frog in a well, that we think that that's it, nothing beyond it. Nothing beyond it. But then some other frog came from the ocean. Told that ocean is so vast, wonderful, and this frog is jumping from one end. Oh, this much is the ocean is this end to this end, jumping up and down and here and there, left and right, and say, oh, this much. No idea, right? No idea about it. So when people does not have this idea, lack of knowledge, they think that this is it, nothing beyond it. So we stuck there. That's why we have to open our heart. We have to clearly hear. We have to come down and see, try to understand this spiritual science, and which goes beyond our perceptions. Which goes beyond our perception. And then when we understand and deeply hear this, then we'll come to know that yes, that is whatever we just heard is not that the real truth. That's what is mentioned, that we all have the knowledge, but we don't have realized knowledge. We don't have Vigyan. So how we come to that Vigyan? Because of when we have the faith and able to hear Tadvidi Pranipadena Pariprashnena, we ask, inquire, Adado Brahma Gigyasa, when we ask, then we slowly come to understanding, to realization that, what is our original identity. We start from there, self-realization. This is called science of self-realization. To understand who we are, what is our identity, what it's all about. That's where we come and understand and realize what we are, what are all we. We are nothing but spirit soul. Right? Our original identity is nothing but we are spirit soul. Mame Vamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bodha Sanadana. All living entities are, Krishna says in the 15th chapter, 7th verse. All living entities are my eternal part and parcel, no doubt. So now we make the sense. Now we are spirit soul, and where is that original spirit? That supreme spirit. In the purport Srila Prabhupada, that supreme spirit is Paramatma. That same Lord has different aspect. That, as I say that the Vadandi tat Vadandi tat Vidat Tattvam Yajnanam Avayam Brahmedi Paramatmedi Bhagavanidi Shabde. Bhagavatham says this one. The same Lord manifest in various three aspects of the Lord. Paramatma, all-pervading potency of the Lord. Brahman is the all-pervading potency of the Lord. Paramatma, the localized, is seated in our heart. And everything manifests from Him as well. We are not alone. Because of Him that we exist. And if he doesn't, if he's not there, we cannot exist. Because everything happens in this world. Can we move even a blade of grass without the will of the Lord? We cannot do that. So the moment that if you think that we are independent, think about that you are in an unconscious state. Can you do anything? When you go to your bed, you are sleeping in the sense that you are already died. When you are sleeping means you are not knowing anything. So next day morning, when you wake up, is actually the Paramatma is waking you up. If the Paramatma is not there, you will not even wake up. Because of the Lord, the presence. So in every aspect, the Lord is there. See, that's why even this small atom, right? Even the small atom, and if you split it, the entire potency is there, right? You know that the John Oppenheimer, right? John Oppenheimer, when he split the atom in the Oklahoma. So when he split the atom, he couldn't even believe that, this is what it is when you split an atom. He was the first atomic, the bomb created. And he, detonated this bomb, this cannot believe there is a huge cloud of the fire. And what he said, what he said? I see the Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Death I am, Kados me, Death I am. John Oppenheimer just repeated that the same word. I could see the death in this, the bomb explosion. I could see the death. I could see the Krishna, the Lord. See where it is coming from. First of all, just a little tiny atom, this huge, the entire world can burn down. And can you imagine this one? And the same that the wood you burn, that it comes out the fire little bit, but you actually take it out exactly, even the atomic, and it's huge, the entire world can burn down. So this Lord's potency, the spiritual potency in the different ways it's there, it's all controlled by that supreme controller. That's what is Ishvara. Ishvara means the supreme controller. So Krishna, the supreme controller, the original personality, ever existing, now he has, in order to create even spiritual realm, in order to create even the spiritual realm, this is the original creation. Then what happens? From him, the first expansion, Brahma manifest. Balaram manifest. Baladev, Adi Shakti, Sandhini Shakti of the Lord. From the Balaram again, there is Samsha and Vibhinnamsha, there are various aspects of it. From the Lord, how the spiritual realm even, has manifested. Then from the Balaram, there is Chaturvuha expansion, there is further expansions. Vasudeva, Sangarshana, Pratyumna, Aniruddha. Then Sangarshan, then Narayana manifest again. That is in the spiritual Vaikunta, the spiritual realm. Then from that Narayana again, the second quadruple expansion, Vasudeva, Sangarshan, Pratyumna, Aniruddha. Look at this. Then from that Sangarshan, Mahasangarshan, then Narayana manifest. That Narayana is known as Mahavishnu. This is for the material creation, okay? The second quadruple expansion is nothing but for the material creation. The first quadruple expansion is for the spiritual creation, Vaikuntha manifestation. Second is for the material manifestations. So now, when the Mahavishnu, that's what is mentioned here, Mahavishnu, from the body of all the ingredients for this material creations come from where? From the body of Mahavishnu. So that's what is 16 principles, elements. So there is, in the Bhagavatam we'll see in the third canto, there are 24 elements. That's called Mahatattva. So Mahatattva is in the original. So there is the concepts called the Pradhan and Prakriti. Okay, Pradhan. Pradhan is the unmanifested material nature. And then Prakriti is the manifested material nature. So this unmanifested material nature, which body the Mahavishnu carries all the ingredients, and basically these are the ingredients of the material nature. Again, science says that there are 105 elements, right? But if you bring all these 105 elements, it's all comprised in the 24 elements, basically. So generally, scripture, Bhagavatam says that is earth, water, fire, air, ether. All these 105 elements will come into that. Right? Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. This is what is this 105 elements, is all come into that. No matter what, this is a permutation and combination of all these are the various other 105 elements anyway. So this is then, these 5 gross elements, then there are subtle elements. Mind, intelligence and ego, that science never say. That is also an element. Okay? These subtle elements, mind, that's only when you come and understand these subtle elements that functions differently. Then we have senses. Okay, this is what is mentioned. Initially there are 16 and 11 senses, and the gross elements and the 11 senses. That means the sense of perceptions, right? Sound, right? The light, right? All this, and then the function of it, right? Hearing, touching, the seeing, right? The breathing, all this, right? These are the, so these basic ingredients are there for the material creation. It is there. And it also contains, that it says that including that spirit soul also is there, part of it. The individual soul is part of there also. So it is there, and it is actually in an unmanifested nature in the body of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu breathe, exhale, breathe. What happens? All this pose of the Mahavishnu, each universe comes out with that ingredients. Now what happens? When each universe comes out, it is called Jada Prakriti. So now it is Pradhan. It is unmanifested nature. It's not even manifested. It is not even visible. But everything is there. Right? That's why, it takes a lot of time, if it goes like that. So then science says a lot of, like the black holes, and then everything is actually one point of time attracts to that one body. Everything, it says that science explains this one. This is what is the conclusion of the science. At some point of time, everything goes back to a point and stays there for some time. The science clears, the science tells this one. Everything goes back to a point where, and it absorbs everything, and then it stays there for quite some time. And then it's again come back. Bhagavad explains the same thing. From the body of Mahavishnu, everything comes to the world. Everything comes. And some point of time, everything goes back. How the Krishna Vishnu is inhale and exhale. Right? The similar way. When we inhale, it goes and exhale, it comes. Right? Similarly, and when Mahavishnu breathe, right, it goes out, and then Mahavishnu inhale, everything goes back to the body. This is just what? One day of Brahma. Not even one day of Brahma, we can say that. So we know that when Brahma's one day, there is also one night. So all this annihilation happens, pralaya happens when the one day of Brahma is 1000 yuga cycle. 1000 yuga cycle. It's almost 8.64 billion years. 1000 yuga cycle, it goes like that. Then Brahma also, lives for 100 years. That is almost like 311 trillion and 14 billion years. The Brahma's lifespan. Brahma also dies. When Brahma dies, the entire universe, entire Brahmanda is also disappears. But there is also partially, there is a pralaya. And then when one goes to sleep, all these elements, all these living entities also goes back to the body of Mahavishnu. So it goes, and Mahavishnu is the maintainer, right? Mahavishnu is the maintainer. This is the way that Mahavishnu knows. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya. Srishti is, Brahma is actually putting everybody, and it goes back to the body of Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu exhales, it all comes back into this. So these ingredients or elements, which is caused by Mahavishnu, it comes from Mahavishnu. So he is the cause of all the causes. So this is in the gross form. Now it is happened, it is Pradhan, which is not manifested as a Prakriti. So then what happens? So the Supreme Lord, he is a spiritual, completely spiritual. He does not come in contact with this, even though it comes from him, but he won't directly interact with this material nature. So instead of that, from the eyes of the Mahavishnu, there is a hue comes out, a light comes out. That is called Shambhu or Sadashiv or Shiv. So now there is also the Chit potency or the internal potency of the Lord, which is known as Rama. Okay, internal potency, which is Rama. That Rama is also part of in this creation. When Shambhu manifests from the eyes, from the Rama, who manifests? Uma, Parvati, Durga. This is called Adi Parashakti. That's why Mother Durga is known as Adi Parashakti. That's why we are celebrating this Navaratri. Okay? So then what happens? That Shambhu now in contact with Uma. That's why Shiv and Parvati. Okay? This is the original, this is the first creation of the material world. This is where that the material world is now taking place. That's what is the Jada Prakriti now became the manifested material nature, and that manifested material nature, who is the predominant deity of the manifested material nature, is Parvati, Mother Durga. Mother Durga is the original deity of it. So then, but that potency of Mother Durga is a shadow potency of the Chit potency of Rama. Shadow potency. But so powerful, so wonderful. So then what happens? Then each universe manifested. Now, in order to control and maintain each universe, from the Mahavishnu, again the subjective portion of Mahavishnu enters into each universe. This is known as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Garbhoda Karana Doshaya Vishnu, Karanodakshaya Vishnu lies down in the Karana Jal. This is a casual ocean. Karana. Karana means this material, ingredients and the elements is causal. The Lord enters into the each universe and fill the water, fill the universe, each universe with half of the water. Lord lie down there. Then Baladev is also come as a recliner, and Mother Lakshmi there, the lotus feet. And this is called the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. This is called the universal form of the Lord. When Krishna showed Arjuna, he is known as Padmanabhan, that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. There are three Vishnu, Purusha incarnations. So this original Purusha, Krishna, from him, there are three other Purushas manifested. Mahavishnu or Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and Shiro. These are known as Purusha because he is the cause of the creation. Right? Purusha is the cause of the creation anyway. And the Prakriti, the masculine aspect and the feminine aspect of it. So this is the creation. The Shambhu and Uma. The masculine is the Shambhu, Shiva, and the feminine or the Prakriti is Uma. So similarly, the creator, the Purusha, and all this manifested form, who is the cause of it, the Purusha is that Supreme Lord, Mahavishnu. Then Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, that's Padmanabha. Then Shirodakshaya Vishnu, who is also again exists in each and every element of this atom. So that's why this potency of each and every atom has this tremendous potency, because of that is a potency of whose? Lord's potency. That's why it says that Kalos me. That's what John Oppenheimer see, that this is nothing but the potency of the Lord. That's why in each and every atom it says that we should not even touch with our feet, because of Lord is there in each and every atom. He exists. So he exists everywhere. He exists also in the form of Paramatma in all the world, all in it. And there is not even a single place that we cannot say that Lord is not there. This light is his potency. Everything is his potency, and we are here, sitting here, that's also because of his potency, the gravitational force of attraction. You know what is gravitational force of attraction? This is the potency of Balaram. He holds everything. Thousands of universes are on the hoods of Anandashesh. And this is revolving in a proper exact position and without any change for millions of years. Who is holding this? Who is holding this? This is the Balaram or Adishesh, Anandashesh, Ananda. There was a story like this. Isaac Newton, he was a believer. He was a very spiritualist. He believed in the Lord. He goes and he was so curious about all this nature and everything. So he created one day the structure of this entire universe. He made it in such a way that all the planets are floating and the sun is in the middle, the planets are revolving around, all this thing he created. So he created, set it in his room. He had a friend who was atheist. He doesn't believe in God. He always questioned Isaac Newton. Why is that? Why this? You are foolish. There is nothing like that. This is all chemical. It just come just like this. It's come like this, and what is this all about? You are just simply talking about. So this friend came and seeing all this one. So he said, who created this? So Isaac Newton said, no, nobody created this. This was there and it was just created, some elements were there, some paper was there, some material was there. It's all on a sudden, it's created itself and gone and it went into the air. It's just like that. His friend said, what foolishness you are talking. What nonsense you are talking. This, unless and somebody created this, it's not possible even come to this, like this. So Isaac Newton just pointed. He always say, this material, this universe didn't create anybody, just comes like that. He said, see, beautiful, look at that, thousands of years, this is in the orbit, is revolving around, is holding that. We all, Earth is, millions of years, there is no change at all, it's in the universe. Now millions of universes like that in this universe, in this world, it is in the proper position, properly it is moving and revolving. And don't you think that somebody is handling this, somebody is creating this, somebody is maintaining this? So he came to his consciousness, yes, that's true. There is somebody is there to maintain this. So who is holding this? Balaram, Ananda Shesh. He is the cause, he is holding everything. So the gravitational force of even attraction, and that varies in different places, not that one. It's all maintained so wonderfully, so nicely by the Lord. No doubt into that. But we foolish people and questioning all this. Said, oh, this me, there is nothing beyond me. There is nothing beyond me. So this is our foolishness. But one who comes to an understanding and realizing this fact, that everything manifests from Him, the Supreme Lord, He is the cause of all the causes. And as we are, what is our purpose? And Lord is so merciful to us. The Lord is seated in our heart. And as it is, Sarvasya Chagam Rati Sannivishto Smadir Madhaka Smadir Jnanam Abhoganancha. Vedescha Sarva Mahameva Vedyo. The Lord is seated. I am seated in everyone's heart. Krishna says to Arjuna. 15th chapter, 15th verse. Madha Sarva Aham, Madhaka Smadir Jnanam Abhoganancha. Sarvasya Chagam. I am seated in everyone's heart. From me comes remembrance. Smadir. From me comes knowledge. That's very true. The moment of unconsciousness, all our knowledge gone. This is also another potency that which flows into that. That's why Jnana Shakti. The Lord's another form, Jnana Shakti. So Shakti, it's a potency, it's an energy. And how it comes into our body, comes into our consciousness, that depends on that comes from the Lord. Ichha Shakti, that is to do something, to create something. And Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. Ichha Shakti, the determination, and Kriya Shakti, to do certain things, all comes from Him. Madhakas Mudhir, the remembrance, the knowledge, Abhoganam, even forgetfulness even comes from Him. He controls everything. So like that, Mother Durga controls all this material world. No matter what. The moha which, there was a story like this, I don't know, it goes beyond, goes up. So two people, they were so attached to their family, even though they were the enemies, they were, tried to plunder everything. But still they cannot forget them.
Here,
So attached to them.
I'll give you something.
The family was
Give me
thrown
one.
out, this
Something
family member, this family, household, because of certain things.
that has real
But
silver.
he cannot even forget them. He cannot even, this attachment. So he came to a sage and asked, what is this causing me that even though they did so much of things against, but I have so much of attachment for them? Why? So the sage said, this is because of moha. This is caused by Mother Durga. Illusion, Maya, Mahamaya. So it's inside all this. So all this moha, attachment, all this because of even material nature inciting to us, within us. So we are just like a puppet in this material world. We don't understand this. So as per this, the current of this material world, we just going floating in this water like this. One way to another, and we think, oh, this is it, nothing but a sensible person, an intelligent person, Buddha, he realized, he questioned, he understands this, so that he can come out from this. And he had to come out from this and to understand this eternal nature is that not this anything that which binds us in this world. So you have to liberate ourselves from this clutches of this material. Because we have to attain our spiritual nature, our original nature. That original nature is full of knowledge. And then that is beyond the Maya. Maya cannot touch a person in Krishna consciousness. Because of the Krishna consciousness, the spiritual devotional activity is completely spiritual, or Maya has no adhikar there. The scripture says that Krishna hi Surya Saman, Maya hi Andhakar, Jagam, Krishna nahi Maya adhikar. Maya ka adhikar udhar nahi hai. So just Krishna. So the moment we have this Krishna consciousness, then there is no Maya consciousness. Maya cannot come in touch. So because of this illusory energy that we are suffering in this world, Mahatma Namstu Mahabharatam Devim Prakriti Masradaha. Mahatmas, the devotees, they are under the Devim Prakriti, not in Maya Prakriti or Jiva Prakriti. Mahatma Namstu Mahabharatam. So this is the highest, because of this is, we are so fortunate, dear devotees, we could come up to this point to realize and understand our nature, and we are somehow or other, some extent that we are conscious of the Lord and the potency, and we are somehow or other are able to realize the potency, realize the importance of it, and somehow or other we are engaging in that potency and connect. That's what is yoga. And when we do with love, that's called devotion, bhakti yoga. When with jnana, it is jnana yoga. When with karma, that is karma yoga. When it is ashtanga, that is ashtanga yoga. But it is out of all this, unless and until one come to with that love, we cannot enter into the Krishna spiritual realm. That's called our love. Yeah, we may go to different places, but not. So bhakti yoga is all top of it. So that bhakti yoga is very simple. That bhakti yoga is very simple, that when we execute our devotion with the love for the Lord, not that, okay, I will call you Lord, okay, give me that, give me this, this car, this money, that one, that flat, this flat, so much of our. So instead that we engage with the love, oh Lord, you are the everything. Like Arjuna, you are everything. Because of you I am here. I am your eternal soul and I am indebted to you. Because of you that I can breathe. Otherwise, the moment of that breath, I am gone. So because of you, I am getting all this. Because of you that I am just little happiness in my life. Because of that I have job, I have family, I have this, I have car. Because of you, you have given so much to me. But still we are not understanding. Still we are asking, no, you didn't do anything for me. You didn't do anything for me. If something happens, even a little small thing happens to us, what do you say? You are so cruel. I will not, now onwards, I am not going to worship you. This is our attitude. But think about a minute. He is giving us everything. And He is there in our heart to take care of each and every moment. And we are so much, thankless and, what is called, so, ungrateful. So ungrateful. Not even a single moment that we don't have time for anything that to remember that. We say, Lord, I don't have time. If somebody asks you, Prabhuji, please come for this Saturday satsang. No, I have so many things. I have a party to go. I have a marriage. I have that, this one, engagement. There is a ball. So many things. This is, we are showing our ungratefulness, thankless. But on the other hand, that there is an opportunity that we can remember the Lord. We can be with the Lord. We can do something for the Lord. Lord is so pleased that at least this one person is realizing that. So there is a story in Srimad Bhagavatham. With that, I'll stop. With that. Srimad Bhagavatham, there is a story. It's called the Gopakumar. Gopakumar was just a cowherd boy in the Vrindavan. So one day, somehow, his great fortune, one guru appeared before him and asked him, chant this mantra. Chant this mantra. He was very sincere. He started to chant this mantra. So it was nothing but it was Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So he started to chant this mantra sincerely. Just because of the potency of this mantra, so he could elevate himself to the abode of the heavenly planets. So, but he was again, he keep chanting this holy name. So he got elevated to the Brahmalok. He was keep chanting because of he said, I'm missing something. I'm missing something. He was keep chanting. So he even elevated to the Jagannath Puri. There he could serve the Lord directly, but still he is missing something. So he was going up and up and up in his all this realm. Then what happened? Finally he came to Vaikuntha. I'm just shortening this story. This is a big story. So he came to Vaikuntha. There he saw the Mahavishnu in such an opulence and awe and reverence. Everybody is fanning him, everybody is worshipping in such an opulence. And when the Bhoga starts, everybody has to come out, the Lord Bhoga enjoys. So, but still Gopakumar was there in Vaikuntha, but what happens? Still Gopakumar was missing something and he's not completely satisfied. Just by chanting this holy name, he could completely purify and he could even reach to Vaikuntha. So this is the time Uddhava was there. Uddhava understood what is happening. So Uddhava took Gopakumar and brought to Golok Vrindavan. So Golok Vrindavan is beautiful. There is a wonderful pastimes. There is no awe and reverence. Krishna is, holding his friends, holding the shoulder and embracing each other, eating each other, playing each other, doing everything together so wonderfully. So then, that's the time Krishna was just coming in the evening, coming back from the herding cows and bringing all the cows, and Krishna saw Gopakumar. Krishna so much stunned. And Krishna becomes so much in ecstasy. Krishna came running and embraced Gopakumar, and Krishna's eyes, tears were coming down and falling down. And one point of time, Krishna even got unconscious and fainted down. And Gopakumar also was tears coming down and fainted down and fall down. And they saw there is a lot of commotion there. So everybody said, what is happening? What is happening? Balaram came, what is happening? Who did this to me? Who did this to Krishna? So this is all wonderful pastimes. So after some time, Krishna came back to his consciousness again. And Gopakumar also came. And Krishna was telling, this is what is very carefully listen. So Krishna told Gopakumar, every lifetime, I was looking at you. That when you were going to turn towards me, when you went away from me, I was so disappointed, desperated. I have so much pain that when you went away from me, I was looking for you all this lifetime, that when you are going to come to me, when you are going to turn your face towards me, this was Krishna. I was waiting for it this moment. So Krishna was so happy. Dear devotees, Krishna will be so happy. Even a moment of that, we come and turn our face towards him. Even take up the holy name and chant it every day. Do something. Come in front of Krishna. Pray to him that at least say thanks, Lordships. That today I could get this one. Today I was happy. I was this one. I didn't have this problem. At least thank to him. At least some extent. So this is the way that we can completely understand and realize our original nature. Who are we? In fact, so there is a chapter in third canto, Srimad Bhagavatham, 31st chapter, which is the movements of a soul. The movement of a soul. The movement of a soul, Kapila Devi is mentioning to Mother Devahuri, is so beautiful, so wonderful. It says that how a living entity is coming into this world. It says that on the first night that the particle, it says that a tiny particle of the sperm mixed with an egg. It's very clearly, it is like a photo kind of what is called scanning report, what is happening. It says that it creates a bubble on the 5th day. And in weeks, it says that it creates a small flesh. This is the form that we are all sitting here, dear devotees. This is the way that we started. So remember that. Okay, where do we come from? And what will happen to us when we leave this body? Okay? So thank you so much. With this note, I would stop here. And so nice to understand this creation. It's so wonderful. So this was the first canto and how this all creation manifested. And this greatly helps us to, go and deeply understand this, this topic. So thank you so much for impatiently, patiently sitting there and waiting and hearing this. Thank you. Hare Krishna. From the Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for such a wonderful, interesting. We didn't want it to stop, right? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Even though this chapter is very technical, actually, if you see this chapter very technical, but he made it very easy. Very interesting and very easy. Thank you.
That's true. It's very technical. It's just,
So the entire chapter is like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
So anybody wants to share anything or questions?
Oh, yes.
First two.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
First of all, please accept my humble
Please accept
obeisances.
my
And
humble
thank you
obeisances.
so much. Thank you, Unlimited, actually, for sharing this wonderful knowledge with us, Prabhuji. It was so mesmerizing and so interesting. But Prabhuji, I just want to clarify one thing. What is partial annihilation and complete annihilation? Partial annihilation, the way I understood, is when one day of Brahma is done.
Yes.
So what happens in that partial annihilation and what happens in the complete annihilation? Can you just explain that?
Sure. Yes, yes. Partial annihilation is the Brahma's one day. So Brahma goes to sleep. So what happens, initially there will be so much of heat which generates, right? So much of heat is for the heat, there won't be any rain for thousands of years. There is always when the yuga, there is always a gap of, years. So this is the time that one, transition from one yuga to another, like that. So Bhagavad explains that, then there will be a pralaya. So after thousands of years, there is no rain, then it absorbs all the water from the nature. Then it started to fall down like anything. So this entire world, up to Brahma, up to Swargalok, up to Swargalok is under the water. No living entity is there for quite leaves. That's called pralaya, right? Annihilation. Yes. So then all the living entities, some are actually who is there that goes to the higher planetary system, like Maharlok, Janlok, Tapalok. But those who are already then goes back to also the body of Mahavishnu. This is a partial, right? Okay. So when fully that's a complete annihilation. That is called Mahapralaya. It's called Naimittika, right? Kishaniga. There are 4 kinds of annihilation. Always is there. Naimittika. Naimittika means constant, right? Constant. This is for the one day of Brahma is a constant. It happens like that, yes. Right? Like periodical or frequent, like that. So there is one is actually at the last when the Brahma actually goes. So even entire Brahmanda goes. So entire Brahmanda is also goes. Brahma also dies. Now Brahma is not there, Brahmanda is not there. So all the living entities and then goes back to the body of Mahavishnu and lives there for, we don't know, right? Millions of years. Yeah. Again, the time period when the next Brahma comes. So next Brahma comes, till that time all this into the body of Mahavishnu. And then when next Brahma comes, it takes again all these processes, then it comes back again into the life, again comes back into the various forms and like that. So it is mentioned that even the time span of a Brahma, the lifespan of Brahma is like for Mahavishnu, it's like a half a breath. Half a breath. Okay? We think about that, we hold the breath like this, and this is just for the Mahavishnu, that's what it is, the time span. So basically, Mahavishnu is that what we see is Mahavishnu. What we see in this all is Mahavishnu because it is vast. That's he is pronounced Vibhu, Mahavishnu. He carries everything. Even the end, all the universes, he carries the universes. That's where all the universes even going back to him. Everybody is going back to him. That's why we don't see for quite some time, billions of years. And then it comes back again into this material world. Then creation happens, this. So this goes creation and annihilation. Creation and annihilation. Then in between, there is partial and there is also like, when yuga changes. when one yuga to another, like now the Kali Yuga is happening. At the end of the Kali Yuga, Kalki manifests. So there is lot of annihilation by the Kalki, right? Then everything will be cleaned. Then what happens? Satya Yuga again comes back. In that time, there won't be any of this internet, any of the report. There is no artificial intelligence. There won't be anything that time. Everything is be annihilated. Pralaya. Now again back to Satya Yuga. People live for 100,000 years. Well, such a potency, they can see everything so clearly, right? In the Satya Yuga, people could see the Lord very personally because of their purity, and they could see everything. But when Treta Yuga comes, that's lost. Now they are started to see the Lord in the fire. That's why the fire sacrifice started. So everything they offer to the fire. So then that's also gone. When it comes to Dwapara Yuga, now they wanted a form of the Lord. Initially they could see the Lord directly. Now they wanted a form of the Lord. That's why the deity manifested. That is called Parichirya. The worship started. Now Kali Yuga comes, that's also people cannot even see. They say this is just idol.
Yes.
This is a statue. Why should I go? People started to ask, why should I go to temple? They don't see anything because they don't have that. They lost everything. So that's why at least you take this holy name. You can have everything that what Satya Yuga people saw, the Lord, that same thing that if you take the holy name, chant the holy name, that you could see the Lord when you chant this one. That's, helps for it. So, yeah, this is what it is, all of this.
Just one small question. You said during partial annihilation,
Yeah.
there are some souls that go to Janaloka. What kind of souls?
That's the great personalities,
Okay.
like the Gyanis, right? So suppose they are not the bhaktas, or we say that okay, they are karma yogis or ashtanga yogis, right?
Okay.
So yogis like that. So that kind of yogis, what they want, they don't want. They wanted to go to the higher planetary systems.
Okay.
So they go there. Even that Brahma Log, it says that Brahma Bhuvanir Logir Punarovartino. Even Brahma has to come down, living entities from the Brahma Loga to come down again into the earth and go back. Brahma Bhuvanir Logir Punaravartino. So this is what is happening. But the first name, those who are already liberated, so those who are already, even what happens, when Brahma goes back, whoever is on the planet of Brahma also goes back to Mahavishnu.
Okay.
They also liberate.
And this Mahavishnu is the expansion of Balaram.
Yeah, Narayan.
Mahasankarshan.
Mahasankarshan. Yes.
Okay.
So he is known as Narayana in the Vaikuntha and Mahavishnu here into the material world.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. This was
No problem.
such a wonderful class.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I have one question about when you were talking about the senses and you went through, all the human senses and how they are reflections of abilities that Lord Krishna wanted us to have. Would the same thing apply to non-human senses, such as like snakes that can sense body heat, or bats that can use echolocation? And you mentioned how they would need the flesh, the soul, and a deity, if I remember correctly. How would the deity aspect of that work with those non-human senses?
Yes, of course. Yes, their Lord, as is mentioned there, right? Even there are 33 crore Devadevadas, right? So they also have this similar functionalities, right? So this is the potency of the Lord. It's like, just for an example, just to raise the hand, right? Who is actually functioning there? The potency of Indra, right? So the nostril, which goes in and out, there is also a potency that controls this. Who controls that? Who is the predominant deity for it? The Ashwini Kumaras. The palate, okay, within, that's Varuna. Hearing, the deity is Anala, or the wind god, okay? And the eyes, right, Surya, right, the digestive power, Agni, and that's why the same thing, Krishna says that, Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva, the 15th chapter. That Lord's name is known as Vaishwanara, he's the digestive power, right? So he has this multi-potency. He said, Parasya Shakti Vivideva Sruvede. That same potency is manifested in so many ways. That is also applicable to even to the animals. Just for an example, so we have very limited. That doesn't mean that only human has that is the maximum potency is in the human. Right? No, it's not that. We cannot even limit anything to. Lord's potency we cannot limit to anything, any extent. So we can see, or just for an example, we can hear only the frequency that 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. That's the frequency that we can hear. But dogs are not like that. Dogs can hear more beyond that. That's why they could hear even a tiny, the sound. Snakes, even 1 kilometer, it says science proven that even 1 kilometer away the snake, if somebody passes, they get the vibration, they get that potency. They get that power of it. See, many of the animals, they hunt in the night. Can we go in the night and do anything? They hunt, they have such a, the camera, they can see, that in the night vision, cameras, they have such a potency. Bats, they don't have any eyes, right? How do they, catch their prey or they eat? So where do they get it, all this potency, various ways? Because of Lord is there, so that's what is they wanted. So they get all this one by one because of that, the way they wanted. So the senses, the same senses, but it's activate or function in different ways in different people. Same Lord. Same thing. It function activates or it function in a various ways. Right? So depends on that who is using it, who wants to get it. So sense is limited, unlimited. He says that, science said that, how many taste buds we have? Millions of taste buds that we can also discriminate or realize that the millions of taste buds, it has that potency in it. But how much we do it? Very limited. So like that, this is unlimited. This potency of the Lord, that's why this is so vast like this, right? Otherwise, it could have just limited in one or two, just if it was just evoluted. It's not that evoluted all this. It's all come from the Lord. That's why it's so wonderful, so potent, so powerful. Isn't it?
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. And it would be an honor to hear from you again at our congregation here. It was a very wonderful lecture. And
thank you so much.
Very
Prabhuji.
We would want to hear from you again.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Question, reflection, quick? Thank you very much again.
Thank you so
a
much.
big round of applause again.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for
As I
this.
said, Prabhu, we hope to hear from you again and again. So please.
Let's try.
So as I said earlier, he is so busy in the temple with various different responsibilities. So it's very
New Jersey, yes.
concentrated.
South Plains, yeah.
So also uniqueness of him is that he performs various yagnas.
I had to do 2 yajnas today.
Yeah.
The morning and then afternoon. Then I was a little doubtful also. Just kind of. Then I also promised.
Thanks for
And I also do the service at the temple, and it goes to Mangalarti like 4 a.m. and then start. And I was kind of sleepy while I was driving, and it's kind of tough. Thank you.
So anybody, if you wish to perform some yagnas at your home for variety, we do that, right? So you can invite him. He's excellent, very professional. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
So you have heard about Shivana Prabhu's mother passed away, right?
Oh.
So last week. About 4 or 5 days back. So we'll loudly chant one time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for her.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So now, kids' recitation too, it will take 5 minutes.
No problem, yes.
Okay, and before that, so tomorrow is Pashankusha Ekadashi. It's tomorrow. So I'll send out the details when to break the day after. Okay, so come. Who is going first? Stand here.
Evayam Mayate Yoga Prokta Puratana Bhaktosi Me Sakasiti Vasametan Uttamam. That very ancient science was thus perceived. That very ancient science of the relationship of the Supreme is today taught by me to you because you're my devotee as well as my friend. Therefore, so you can understand the transcendental mystery of the science.
Jai.
Sa evaya mayatedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakacheti rahasyam yetaruttamam. That very ancient science with the relationship of the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend. Therefore you can understand the transcendental mysteries of this science.
Haribol.
Sa evaya mayatedya yoga Prokta Puratanaha Bhakto Sime Saka Cheti Rahasyam Eta Uttama. Translation. The ancient supreme science of relationship with the Supreme is told today by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend. Therefore, you can understand the science, transcendental science.
Haribol.
So evayam mayatedya yoga prokta puratana bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hietaduttamam. Translation. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is told by me to you, is today told by me to you today because you are my devotee as well as my friend. Therefore, you can understand the mysteries of this science.
Haribol. Haribol.
Sa evayam mayatedya yoga prokta puratana bhaktosi me sakacheti rahasyam hi etaduttamam. This ancient science of the relationship between the Supreme Lord is today told by me to you because you are my friend as well as my devotee. Therefore, you are able to understand the transcendental mystery of this science.
These are the Srimad Prabhupada quotes for this week, 6th of October. Home sweet home, yes, very sweet. The whole day and night work. This is Moha. He is working hard day and night. There is not a single moment leisure, and he's still sweet home. This is illusion. October 8th. You have got this body, you have to eat something, you have to cover yourself, so produce your own food and produce your own cloth. Don't waste time for luxury and chant Hare Krishna. October 9th. Hanuman was ordered to bring some medicine from some mountain. He was a monkey, he was an animal who did not know how to pick up. Take the whole mountain, execute the order. And then Ramachandra and Lakshmana, they'll find out what is that medicine. This is Vaishnava. In one's own capacity, he should give the best service to the Lord. October 10th. Even Krishna, whom we accept as the Supreme Lord, had to go to Gurukula and serve the spiritual master as a menial servant. October 11th. A Krishna-conscious person must be seen by ears and not by the eyes. One should try to know the depth of realization by Krishna, conscious person, and not see the beard, which has become the practice of the hippies. October 12th. If you put butter before the fire, automatically it melts. Similarly, a woman is considered as fire and a man is considered as a butter. So this is natural. But a person who is not agitated, he is called Dhira.
Thank you. Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you everyone, and Prabhu will continue with our prasad. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmane Vaishnave Svalpa Punyatam Rajan Vishwasvanaiva Jayate Sharira Vidya Jal Jarendriya Taheka Jiva Fele Vishaya Sagare Tara Madhya Jivati Lobho Maya Sudurmati Take Jata Katina Samsare Krishna Barodayamay Kuri Bara Jiva Jai So Prasada Nadilo Bhai Sriya Namrita Pao Sri Radha Krishna Guna Gao Premeda Kosi Chaitanya Nitai Jai Mai Jai Nitai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Radha Krishna Mahaprasadam ki Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And one last thing, Asim Karuna Prabhu requested to mention that October 28th, which is Saturday, he has a big home program. So he was just asking us if we can combine together, so we can discuss that later. But I'm just letting you know, he asked me to announce. Thank you. Thank you, online devotees. Hari Bol.